These days, everyone pretty much is on social media, right? But when a couple breaks up, it's easy to take that social media as a platform to vent out frustration or complaints about how things went down and who was wrong. So more and more couples are actually creating a clause in the prenup to prevent all of that. So we brought in an expert to talk about how to address this and whether that would be useful. Stephanie Webb is from Radix Law.
Radix Law, yes.
Thank you so much for being here. What an interesting topic.
It is.
Okay, so modern day, 2018, you're getting into a marriage. Maybe, first of all, what percentage or how common is a prenup nowadays in the first place?
So a lot of people are doing prenups these days. You know, people are getting married later and they have assets they want to protect and they have agreements they want to reach before into marriage. And I've heard statistics that as many as 80% of divorces deal with social media issues.
Wow.
So these social media clauses are becoming increasingly popular, and they're a way for couples to set forth their expectations and really nail down you know, what they can and can't talk about both during the marriage, on social media, and later in the event of divorce.
Yeah, and I imagine it really gets sticky when people are angry and upset and they're separating. So what would, like, who would this really apply to? I imagine somebody in maybe a high-profile position or who is running a company and they don't want anything negative put out there.
Yeah, all of those things. I think it's really useful for people who spend time and money investing in their image. You know, that could be business people, that could be entertainers, that could be teachers who don't want students of theirs seeing things about there that an ex-spouse puts out. So it really is applicable to a lot of people these days because social media is just everywhere.
So would you say it's almost becoming a norm as part of a legal consult if you're drafting a prenup to say, okay, maybe we want to address this issue as well?
I think it's going to be more and more popular as time goes on because these issues really are popping up in divorce now. And so it's just better to deal with it at the front end, and for that reason it is becoming more popular to put in the prenuptial agreement in the first instance.
So what are the contingencies? I mean, how do you keep people from breaking some of these agreements that they you know, will agree to when everything is happy and you're going into a relationship? Of course, I'll never post anything negative about you on social media. Well, you know, a few years later, you feel differently.
So some of these agreements have really hefty financial penalties. And the idea is that hopefully you stop some of that, you know, anger posting and think twice before you post something.
Think of the bank account.
Have a large fine levied against you that you agreed to in the prenup.
So how common, I mean, is a prenup so commonplace nowadays that people feathers ruffled about asking the other person to sign one or being asked to sign one?
Yeah, I think plenty of people, you know, are happy. I think it protects both parties going into it. Some people, you know, still don't want to enter into one, but they are becoming more and more common these days.
Would you advise younger people, even who maybe don't bring in a lot of assets, to look at this for a simpler resolution should a relationship end?
Yeah, I think it gives finality to, you know, what the expectations are of the spouses entering into a marriage. So it can deal with things like these issues outside of just financial assets. So it's really for anybody.
Well, thank you so much for the conversation. How do people find you? You're at?
Oh, we are at radixlaw.com.
Okay,
and we're also at Kierland.
Okay, and that's where your offices are?
Our offices are at Kierland and Scottsdale.
All right, more information on our AZ Family app.